Correct, and I'm here with you doing Facebook Live today. So I wanted to let you know that every week we have a prize drawing, and this last week was for 2 skeins of Rios, and our lucky winner from this last week was Debbie Doctor. So we just need your address, Debbie, and we can give you these 2 skeins of Rios, and they're in number 684, the Chameleon colorway. I just love them, and I'm sure you'll love them too. So let us know what your address is, and we can get these out in the mail to you. And right today we are on vacation, and we are in Salem, Oregon. We're at the Airstream regional event.
International Rally.
International Rally. And we are enjoying this, and Jim will just scan a little bit and show you all the Airstreams that are here. And it's totally cool to see. There are over 700 Airstreams at this event. So, and they have like number 1 in the Airstream, which was Wally Byam's, I think, Airstream. And it's pretty cool to see all the Airstreams, and it's just like an American icon. And so it's pretty cool. We're happy to be here. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about shawls, cowls, and scarves that we love to wear. And when I was preparing for this week's Facebook Live, I was going through my projects, and I thought about maybe I have some projects that are almost finished that I loved enough to start knitting, but I didn't quite finish them. So I took a couple items out that I was working on, and I finished one of them for you, and the other one I'm still working on because it's a huge project, and I'll tell you about my journey as we go along with each of the projects. So today, make sure you sign up and let us know where you're posting from, and maybe what you're working on, and where you're going on vacation. We'd love to hear from you, and you can be entered into to enter one of these Zen Garden, and this is called Splatter. It's the Coeur d'Alene colorway, and it's Serenity 20, so it has the cashmere blend in it. And I thought maybe we could give you the Knit Me pattern that I'm going to be looking at today, and you can knit your own little shawl. So this is for the winners for today, so make sure you enter to win, and that you post your comments in the comment section, and let us know what you're working on, or maybe where you're going on vacation, because we'd love to hear from you. And this is the prize for this week. So,
Gaydell says she's at a knitting retreat.
Oh, awesome.
In Alaska, in Cordova, Alaska.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? I bet you're having a great time. Do you know that here at the Airstream Rally, they have a whole room for knitters and crocheters and crafters, so we can work on our projects together. And so that's been really cool. And so I'm sure you're having a good time in Alaska, and I hope everyone out there is having a good time on their vacations during the summertime holiday, and that you're maybe getting some good weather. We've had a little bit of rain, we've had some sunshine too, but it's quite nice today, so we lucked out. Anyways, okay, so the first project that I wanted to talk to you about that I was working on, it is by Joji Locatelli, and I have to lean down here and pick it up because it's not finished, and I have to pick up my yarns to go with it. And this is going to be a big shawl, and let me see if I can spread out one end, Jim. I need like 3 hands. That's one side of it, and then the other side, because I'm doing both at the same time. It's a knit along. It's called Starting Point, and it's by I think I'm mispronouncing her name, but it's Joji Locatelli. And this was one of her cows that she did a while back that I never finished. So when I was working on this project, of course I got sidetracked and threw it aside. And I thought to myself, well, this is such beautiful yarn, because it's Madeline Tosh soft, it's Madeline Tosh Twist Light, it's Malabrigo soft, it's really nice yarns, and I wanted to finish it. But the reason why I hadn't been working on it is I had lost my pattern, and I didn't know where I was on the pattern because I had lost it. So I don't know if that's ever happened to any of you out there, but if you can post and let us know about your experience, I'll tell you how I solved this problem. So the first thing I did is I knew what the name of the cowl was, the knit along was. So I knew I had my pattern in Ravelry, and I thought maybe I was on clue number 3, so I printed out number 3, number 4, and number 5. Then the next thing I did is I started at clue number 1 and pulled up that pattern on my internet And clue number 1's down here. I started recording the colors. So I would record the light tan, green, brown, dark brown, etc. and go along. So then I went through pattern number 1, and every time it said start with this color, I would write that down. So, and then when I got to the end where I knew where clue 1 ended because of the color I was on. So I took these little stitch markers. See the purple stitch marker here? What I did is that was the end of clue number 1. So I could tell I finished clue number 1. And then on the next one, I started recording the numbers, the colors again, and I could tell when I finished clue number 2. Then I started the colors on number 3 and started charting them out. And I realized that I was somewhere on chart number 3, but not completed with chart number 3. So then I looked to see how many stitches I was supposed to have, and I was supposed to have 171. So I counted each section to make sure that I had 171. And I was off by 1 stitch. So I wanted to see where it would make sense that I would go ahead and, here's what I wanted to show you. So clue number 1, see how I was recording? Number 1 was light gray, green, etc. This is how I could tell that this was clue number 1, and then that was clue number 2, and then clue number 3 was right here, and I thought maybe I was on this section on the light gray brown. Then what I did for that section, I thought how many garter ridges, because in this pattern I'm repeating this pattern, and this one. I was right here, and it's like, do I have the same number of garter ridges here that I have here? And yes, I did. So I completed that section, and that's how I knew exactly where I needed to be. And as far as that 1 stitch, the pattern called for me to knit across and then 4 stitches before the end to do a slip slip knit 2. So instead of doing a slip slip knit, I did a slip 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 knit to get rid of one of the stitches on that side that needed to be gotten rid of. And then I was back in business, so I went ahead and did my project on that one. Also, I wanted to point out to you some little tricks that I did. So I had, Jim, can you put it down here? So I had yarn that I had to rewind. So what I did is I took my yarn, I couldn't rewind it on this skein because I'm using either side of the skein, see? So I'm knitting from here and from the outside, so I couldn't rewind this on here because then I wouldn't be able to use this strand of yarn. So what I did is I wound it onto a cup.
Hey Kelley, stand up.
Crisscrossing back and forth. And that's how I was able to rewind my yarn and have it, it's kind of stuck in. And so, anyway, that's a little trick for you that you can do if you need to rewind your yarn. Wind it onto a cup when you can't wind it into your cake, or you don't have the ball winder with you, or you don't want to cut your yarn. That's a little trick for you to use. So, anyways, I did that, and I'm back on track, and I'm knitting along. So, maybe by next week, we will have that finished, and I can show that to you. So now, the next one I'm going to be talking about is the freeze cowl. And this freeze cowl is by Lisa Haynes, and I'm using Plymouth Estilo, which is the 80-20 blend of merino and silk. And what I do is, before I bring yarns into Alpaca Direct, I test them for you. And this is actually a yarn that I'm testing to bring it in as a product for our store. So I test each yarn and then block it and wash it and see what it does. But here's these 2 yarns that I'm testing, and it's using the freeze cowl. And this one is a beautiful slip stitch pattern. And I think I'm going to make this kind of like a snood, so I can put it up over my head if the weather's bad. So I have about 4 more repeats that I want to do. And I'm going to make it nice and long. And then it has that nice slip stitch pattern. And of course, with these slip stitch patterns, you need to make sure to use a larger needle size because slip stitches can sometimes get stiff. They can get not as pliable. So make sure you use a larger needle with your slip stitches, and you'll like the result. It'll still remain squishy and nice and easy to wear. All right, so that was that project. And my little Ziploc pattern, Ziploc idea is that when I'm not knitting, I take a quart-size Ziploc and put the yarns in the Ziploc and actually shed it. And that keeps little critters from dragging your yarn around or, you know, causing problems. So it'll just keep right where it needs to be. So that's another little trick that you can use, okay? And the little quart-size Ziploc bags, I do not throw them away. I put them in the drawer at home, and then when I need a new one, I recycle them. I use them over and over. So the next pattern that I'm going to be talking about is called Knit Me by Louise Zaz Bangham, and it's using Zen Garden Serenity 20. And I love the Serenity 20. If I haven't spoken to you about it before, or you haven't heard me talk about it before,
say it again, what it is.
It's Zen Garden Serenity 20. It's a cashmere blend, cashmere merino blend. And Zen Garden, they always do a great job of dyeing. And this uses just one skein. Now this Knit Me shawl is really nice because you get to do a picot cast on and then a picot bind off. So if you want to practice doing picots, this is the project for you. Plus, for gift giving, this project is really easy to knit. I could basically do this in a day, and you can make Christmas gifts. And what I like about this one is it's not going to get tangled up in things. You can wear it, and you know, you can wear it around your neck twice, or however you want to wear it. And you can loop it around, and it won't be in the way, because there's not much to it, but it'll add a little bit of warmth. And it's so incredibly soft. The Zen Garden is so incredibly soft. I encourage all of you out there, if you haven't tried Zen Garden, you should try it. It's a lovely yarn, and it the way they hand paint it it's one of the best out there. I really, really like this yarn. It's a little tiny bit more expensive, but I feel like it's worth it. It's a great product. Okay, and you guys, don't forget to post comments in the comment section and let us know what you're working on. We want to know where you're going vacationing and maybe what you're enjoying right now. We are at the Airstream rally, and we are having a great time here, so we're not at home yet. And next week, we are going to be talking about children's knitwear, everything kids, okay, about our babies and kids and whatever we're working on. And I'll have some cute little samples to show you from there. And so make sure to tune in for that. But in the meantime, you post your comments in the comment section, and you can win, you can possibly win this Zen Garden Serenity 20 in the splatter colorway of Coeur d'Alene. It's Coeur d'Alene's colorway, specially made just for us. And this will make a really cute, this is a little Knit Me pattern.
And it comes with a picture too.
Including that for you, yes. And so, anyways, make sure you do that. And then Debbie Doctor is the one that won last week's prize. And she won the Chameleon colorway in Rios, and that's 2 skeins.
Repeat that again, because you were facing away.
Debbie Doctor won the 2 skeins from last week's contest, and this is Rios. The colorway is Chameleon, and all she needs to do is contact us, and we'll get her address and send this out in the mail to her. And so that's awesome. Also, the last item I wanted to talk about today was called Garter Squish, okay? And this is by Stephen West. And I didn't even know that Stephen West had a lot of any free patterns, because his patterns are usually paid for patterns, and they're very highly sought after patterns. So the fact that he had some free patterns on Ravelry was totally awesome. So you can go to the Stephen West page on Ravelry, and they have a section that says free patterns, and that Garter Squish can be found there. Or you can just search in the patterns section where it says search bar, and you can put in Garter Squish and get that from there. And that is this little thing, and I thought this is just such a great scarf for using up odds and ends. This is Merino and Malabrigo. It is Madelinetosh Dite and Malabrigo Rios. And this was the free pattern from Stephen West. And what it has is a 3-stitch I-cord edge on either side of it, and garter in the middle. and they actually knitted up differently than this. Remember I told you that I'm on the road, so I had brought all this extra yarn because I thought this is a great way to use up scrap yarn, and that's what Stephen West recommends. So I brought it all with me. Only problem, it called for a number 15 needle, and the largest needle that I have with me was number 11. So using 2 worsted weight yarns together was out of the question because I tried it. Okay, and when I tried it on my number 11, let me show you what I got. I basically got something that's so stiff, it's almost like a floor mat. One second here, I have a mess. See, that's the mess I was telling you about you want to prevent
stand up.
by using the, see that mess, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
That's the mess you want to prevent by using a small Ziploc bag to put your bags in. So this was my...
you mean a big Ziploc bag?
No, a quart size. So
oh,
you
okay.
put them in a small Ziploc bag. And each skein of yarn, and then it keeps it from unraveling and making a mess.
Okay.
So you're not continuously fighting it. But this is the kind of idea that he had in mind, that you would use your scrap yarns and knit these together. But I wish you were here to feel this. It's on a number 11 needle, but really it kind of feels like a placemat or a rug. It does not feel like something you would use for a scarf. Where this one is very pliable and squishy, this one is not. It's stiff.
And so what's the difference again?
This one I was able to use just a regular number 8 needle,
okay.
And this gauge on this one was too tight. And typically it's odd because you think of garter stitch as being very floppy, and it's not as floppy as I thought it was. I think that it has, if you knit it on a tighter gauge, it really will get stiff. So keep that in mind when you're using your garter stitch. And it's okay if you want it stiff and you want to make a rug. I thought this would actually be a kind of cool rug or something to make. Maybe a runner for a table, but not to wear. And it's a great way to use up scrap yarns when you're making these. So I think I love this, and I think that using up scrap yarns is always a great thing to do, cleaning out that closet and using some of your high quality yarns or whatever yarns that you have that you liked and you haven't been able to use. This might be a good option for you to make this garter squish scarf, because you can donate it to charity. I kind of like these short ones. I made mine short because I tend to get caught up in my things and get, it's easily overwhelming to me. So I end up taking my scarves and stuff that are too big off because I'm afraid they're going to get hooked on something or something. So these little short ones that, maybe I could loop around twice and just have it underneath my jacket, I like that. So anyways, you can keep this in mind when you're knitting. Also, you guys make sure to post comments in the comment section. Let us know what you're working on and what you're enjoying. And we are going to still be on vacation this next Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about terrific kids items that we can knit and make for our babies and kids. And if you have any ideas that you would like to post for next week that you might be working on, pictures are always appreciated. We love to learn from you, and I learn from each and every one of you every day. So I like having new ideas out there. It just keeps me motivated to keep knitting and enjoying my craft. So you all enjoy this summer holiday season, and you take care, and we will talk to you first thing next Tuesday at 9:30 when we're going to be talking about our baby knitwear. You have a great day. Take care.